Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Raheem Escalay, and this is 4-3 Sports Talk. It is a big day in the NFL. Today is the 2021 NFL Draft, so we've got a lot of stuff to cover. I've also got some scores from the NHL, the MLB, and the NBA, as well as my final breakdowns, thoughts, comments, info, input, what have you on tonight's draft and how I think it's going to go. So without further ado, let's begin. I have compiled a list of 10 sleepers, 10 guys that I have not talked about yet in any segment that I can remember. I mean, if I did, please let me know. But these are a list of guys who popped out to me on when I watched their tape, and who I think can be some either game wreckers or bench warmers at the next level. So these guys are either going to be they're going to be like how would I say it, like boom or bust guys, kind of, sort of. So let's get into that list. Riley Moore, tight end out of Kentucky. I have him going in rounds between the 5th and 6th round. Riley Moore shows a lot of cloth ball quickness. He's got great hands. I like the way he blocks. But there have been questions in regards to his injuries. And as far as the depth in this tight end class, it's not. It kind of really it drops off after Pat Freiermuth. You know what I mean? I had him going towards the back end of the first round. So the tight end class kind of like dips down as far as talent level, and Riley Moore is a guy with equal skills, with an equal skill set to Pat Freiermuth. You don't have to necessarily run up and get him in or waste a pick in an earlier round. You know what I mean? So I have Riley Moore at number 10. Because he has the skills like a Rob Gronkowski, but he's boom or bust for the injury reasons, and there's not much need at tight end with this class anyway this year. So that's my take on Riley Moore. I got him number 10th. Number 9, Tylan Wallace, wide receiver from Oklahoma State. I have him going in the 3rd round. Consensus pick, you know, the guys who are big analysts have him graded as the 10th wide receiver. I like Tylan Wallace. I think he's a big body. He's smooth. He's not a Jamar Chase or a Devonta Smith, but I like the way he does what he does. He makes great moves in and out of traffic, and a lot of contested catches. Tylan Wallace doesn't have great breakaway speed. Short bursts and quickness isn't really there too. So that's where he kind of loses the first round grade for me, and probably for a bunch of the other guys too. Number 8, Big Ben Cleveland, the offensive guard from Georgia. This guy is huge. The thing for me is can he move himself? Is he an immovable object? And what I mean by that is when you're on the offensive line, you're a guard. You got to pull a lot of the time, and especially with the way that the league is shifting to like a zone run kind of look. You know, they need guards to be able to pull and to move fast. And to get that kick step, that fast kick step out. So a lot of what's going to be asked, what teams are going to ask of Ben Cleveland is going to be a lot of that pulling stuff. To me, with at 6'3", which is 341, my concern would be how would he be able to get up to speed and be successful in the NFL, the running games that are in the NFL. I think obviously, like, you know, and this comes with speed too. He needs to become a better pass protector, and stuff like that is coachable. Sometimes speed isn't coachable at the next level, but I think the little things that Ben Cleveland has wrong with his game that might rub some people the wrong way, I think those things can be coached. I think those things can be taught, and he can improve on those as well. Number 7, I have Brady Breeze, the hard-hitting safety of the Oregon Ducks. This guy has been sliding into my attention of the last few weeks when I've been watching game tape of Penei Sewell, the Oregon Ducks guy, the Oregon Ducks left tackle who is projected to go top 10 in this the draft tonight. When watching Penei Sewell's film, I had a chance to watch the defense, and this guy Brady Breeze flew all over the field, making tackles everywhere. The speed is amazing, and not just the speed, the acceleration, and that's something you can't teach. Something you can't teach at all. I think what messed him up was opting out on 2020, which a lot of the college athletes did. And quite frankly, it didn't hurt his case. His 2019 tape, though, and again, I was watching Penei Sewell, so it's just I just was blessed to be able to be watching the whole game and breaking it down that way. Brady Breeze is the next. I think he's the next prototype, the next safety. That's what a safety should be. It should be Brady Breeze. His last tape was 2019. That was his last full tape that you can get a look at. And I think he was phenomenal. He played phenomenal, absolutely. So watch for Brady Breeze if you're a team that needs a safety. Number 6, one of my favorite wide receivers in this class, Jalen Darden from North Texas. He's 5'8", 175. He can do it all. He has great hands. He's very, very fluid, very flexible, very fast, quickness. He's got elusiveness, everything. His hands are great. He's going to get created touches in this league. He's going to run the ball a little bit as well. My knock is his size, and is his size going to be able to translate to the NFL? Well, actually it is. If you look at guys like Tyreek Hill, who are about the same size, those guys with similar skill sets have made a name for themselves in the NFL. So, why shouldn't he? Blake Prohl, wide receiver, and don't get him confused for his unathletic brother, Austin Prohl. I'm sorry, Austin. Blake Prohl is from ECU, and the stereotype with the wide receiver, the stereotype with the slot wide receiver of Caucasian descent does not apply to this guy. Sorry, I was thinking of a politically correct way to say that without offending anybody. He's got speed, hands, everything. This guy can go vertical whenever you want him. It's my thing with him was he didn't have much tape. There wasn't much game tape. And then this is another opt-out case. So you wonder about that. I was like, oh, okay, what goes on? How do I look at this if these guys opt out? So it's as far as judging the players who've opted out, I think what you need to think about is that they're taped the year before. So with Pro, I think you don't judge him on the opt out and then how that ended, how his career ended at ECU. I think he goes to 2019 and 2018 tape, and I think that's how you judge somebody like that. Moving on, Walker Little, tackle from Stanford. Oh man! Shout out to offensive coordinator of the New England Nor'easters, Bobby Johnson. I had the pleasure to sit down and have an interview with him, and he runs the Johnson Offensive Line Academy. And we had a conversation about offensive linemen, particularly about Walker Little. I was a little more high on him than he is. And then here's another guy who opted out in 2020, tore his ACL in what was that, like 2019, something like that. Well, I think it was like 2018 he tore his ACL because he had a little bit of time to come back from it. My point being with Walker Little is this guy's a great prospect. Many people have him in the first round. I thought up to my research and then my conversation with Coach Johnson that Walker Little should go in the first round. Hands down. But I think with that injury, and then the opt-out year, I think a lot of scouts are going to be, they're not going to be so quick as to jump and go grab a guy like this, especially when you have guys like Penei Sewell in front of him, Dylan Radunes from NDSU, Brady Christensen from BYU. So there are other guys that are in the tackle class that are more durable than him. But Walker Little's a beast, to say the least. My number 3 sleeper is Cam Sample, the edge rusher from Tulane. This guy has bull rushes, stunts. He gets around everything, and I truly believe that Cam Sample not being a first round pick was a bit of a sham. The tape doesn't do him justice. This is another opt-out guy. It's funny I got a bunch of opt-out guys on this list. The tape doesn't really do him justice, at least in my opinion, in 2019. You want to see how Cam Sample got his name? Look at his 2018 film. But anyway, besides for all that, this guy is amazing. There are other edge rushers, Gregory Rousseau from Miami, and I believe his other edge mate over there, Jalen Mayfield. I believe they're higher. A lot of people have them ranked higher in this edge rusher class, but I truly believe Cam Sample has the tools, and he's a lot more durable, especially more than Jalen Mayfield. He just has all the tools to make it and be extremely successful at the next level. So that's why I have him as number 3. Number 2, another Stanford guy, another opt-out guy, Paulson Adebo. He's the corner from Stanford. He had a great sophomore year. This guy showed athleticism that I have never seen before, and he just wows you on tape, man, on highlights, game tape. This guy can lock down anything. You won't catch anything on him. And his play was another reason why I questioned why Stanford wasn't ranked last year in the top 25. I'll save that for a different episode. But Paulson Adebo is a great defender. I like him in zone coverage. He uses his hands well, balances his hips, and he's not a guy that you're going to catch sleeping. You know what I mean? As far as if you're a wide receiver, you're not going to beat him with that jump cut at the line of scrimmage. And that's the thing I think a lot of defensive backs need to have under their belt as far as the skill set. My number 1 sleeper in this draft is none other than linebacker Monty Rice out of Georgia. I watched the way he played all year. As you know, the SEC didn't cancel a game because football is religion in the SEC. So I had the chance to watch Monty Rice play a lot. I'm an Auburn Tigers fan, so we got smashed by Georgia twice. We got smashed by Georgia twice this year. So, this guy's amazing. Outside of, I kind of have him up there with Zaven Collins as one of the best linebackers in this class. Technically, with Zaven Collins' size, he's not really a linebacker. He's just a standing edge rusher. It's like 6'5", 274, I think. Yeah. So anyway, I think Monty Rice is a true linebacker. He's my number 1 sleeper in this draft. If I messed up on any of my evaluations or anything with the draft, then I would have to say that my redo would definitely go to Monty Rice as far as saying where he would get picked. I just wonder who would take him in the first round if there's anyone. Probably the Steelers. maybe the Titans at 25. So it's going to be interesting to see. Interesting to see. Let's move on. I got some scores for you. Thank you. Dropping all my papers. Thank you for bearing with me during that. In the NBA, I have Philly beating Atlanta 127-83. Washington beating the Lakers 116-107. Boston beating Charlotte 120-111 after they listened to Jaylen Brown's locker room pep talk. New York Knicks beating the Chicago Bulls 113-94. Denver over New Orleans 114-112. Phoenix over not my Lakers, they're the Clippers. I'm sorry, 109-101. In the Major League Baseball, Minnesota. Oh, let me tell you about these Twins and their bats. I don't think I've ever seen a baseball team score as many freaking runs as the Twins have. And what's it like? This is like 4 games in a row? This is crazy. So yes, the Minnesota Twins notch a win over the Cleveland Indians 10-2. Miami Marlins beat the Milwaukee Brewers 6-2. Dodgers over the Reds 8-0. Boston beats the Mets 1-0. That was crazy. Yankees over Baltimore 7-0. Atlanta beats Chicago 10-0. I love those high-scoring baseball games. You can't get enough of those. Not too many people have appreciation for those multiple run baseball games, but I do. Houston beat Seattle 7-5, while the nightcap goes San Francisco Giants beating the Colorado Rockies 7-3. Moving on to hockey, we have St. Louis beating Minnesota 4-3. Toronto over Montreal 4-1. Edmonton beats Winnipeg 3-1. Vegas over Colorado 5-2. San Jose beats Arizona by a score of 4-2. And for Western Mass Sports, next week, baseball and softball starts. So I would like to personally give a shout out to all the children getting ready, the student athletes getting ready to suit up and step on the diamonds, softball fields, basketball courts, wherever next week. So shout out to each and every student athlete in Western Massachusetts next week. Big spring week for you guys. And finally, I thought it was important to talk about quarterbacks. Being that this is the NFL draft and this is, it's a quarterback league, it's a passing league. I noticed that there were a lot of teams who were in need of a quarterback. And I thought it best to compile the best 10 whom I saw, who made my list. And I'm going to get into it by talking about the number one guy. It's not who you think he is. I have Trevor Lawrence going to the Jaguars, just like everybody else does. But Trevor Lawrence is not my favorite quarterback in this draft, by far. My favorite quarterback in this draft has to be none other than BYU's Zach Wilson. Here's why. Zach Wilson is athletic. He has a crazy 40 time. His arm, the decision making. Maybe not so much so the level of competition he played, but Zach Wilson has it all. I think the Jaguars are going to see that they should have went with Wilson over Trevor Lawrence in this draft. And not to say that Trevor Lawrence is going to be bad or anything like that. I think that Zach Wilson just has everything. He just has the it factor. He seems better to me on tape, more so than Trevor Lawrence. So it's I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. But I want to let everybody know that I am definitely a Zach Wilson guy, not a Trevor Lawrence guy. But for the sake of this list, there's some other guys on here who I need to talk about, and it's raining, so gotta be quick. Shane Buechele, he's going to be a day 3 guy. And I know some guys are laughing at me if you know who he is. Why do I have Shane Buechele on this list? Because he's a guy who can make it at the next level. Whether that be a backup or a practice squad guy, Shane Buechele can do it. He can. He's from SMU, 6'1", 207, got him going in the 5th round. Number 9, Davis Mills, one of my favorite quarterbacks in this draft. He's going, the Stanford product, obviously. What I like about him is he's determined. He sits in the pocket even when he's getting ready to get killed, and he makes a lot of passes. He's definitely not a day one guy. I have questions about him being a day two starter, but Davis Mills was, for sake of the conversation, in a pro style offense, and not a lot of college quarterbacks coming out this year can say that. Moving quickly, Jamie Newman, he opted out of the season after he moved from Georgia from Wake Forest to Georgia. Jamie Newman's arm strength is off the charts. I especially love that release. It's a little funky, but you fall in love with it, especially if you're a quarterback, current performer. I wonder where he's going to go in the draft. I didn't have any specific team taking him, but I suppose quarterback needy teams like the Patriots or one of the many other teams that need a quarterback in this league could go and grab him. Another guy who I think's a dark horse as far as Patriots grabbing him, Felipe Franks from Arkansas. This guy's huge. He could run. He's somebody who I didn't have too high because he wasn't in a pro style system. Moving on quickly, Kyle Trask from the Florida Gators. I liked some of his game, but he played with a lot of stars. So, and to me, I always saw a takeoff after the first read, which is indicative of somebody not having the offense down pat all the way. And I know that Florida's pro style offense wasn't designed like that. You have to go through progressions, the second and the third and the fourth. So, moving on from the 6-1, we got Mac Jones. He's number 5. You know how I feel about Mac Jones. He's a career game manager. It's another guy that I think benefited playing with stars. So his talent is like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Moving on, Trey Lance. I got him number 4th. Trey Lance, there's one game of tape on him in 2020. He played a badass 2019. So it's just the team going with upside here, taking him. You look at him on tape; he's got all the skills to go everywhere, and I look forward to seeing who takes him and what he does with his career. Justin Fields is the number 3. I think that the 49ers might take him, but also somebody put into my head to think about last night, the 49ers taking Zach Wilson and then the Jets taking Justin Fields. It's going to be interesting to see either way. So, number 1, like I already said, my quarterback is Zach Wilson. Everybody else says it's Trevor Lawrence. I don't think so. I think that what needs to be looked at here is the athleticism and the way that offenses are being set up. And I think it's kind of a matter of preference too. I think that Zach Wilson is the guy. To me, he should be the one taking number 1, but we know it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. So, who knows? Thank you all very much for tuning in and supporting and loving 413 Sports Talk. I am Raheem Escalay, your host. This was episode 38. We have the NFL Draft coming on tonight at 8 p.m. Again, please don't miss that, and please tune into this episode. And during the draft, I might jump online a little bit just to interact with people and talk about the draft, talk about the picks, maybe get some reaction, questions or comments from you, the viewers. I don't know. I look forward to it. It's a great day. Right now, I'm going to get out of the rain and go publish this podcast. 413 Sports Talk. I'm Raheem Escalay. God bless you all. Have a great day.